it is over for the Democrats right now. These corrupt Democrats, we have caught them. More are stepping down, more are being exposed. We're showing you all the receipts today on this show, guys. High-ranking positions. You're talking about millionaires and billionaires are being exposed right now, stepping down from their positions, being investigated over the Epstein files. Hyatt Hotels chairman, think about this, of the Hyatt Hotels, Tom Pritzker, has just announced he is stepping down after appearing extensively in the Epstein files. And if you notice the last name, Pritzker, yes, related to J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois. Guys, this is massive. Another huge, very wealthy person who is now stepping down over the Epstein files. But not only that, everybody, we have just caught, and now again, this is always going back to the money. Insider trading is real. We have top 10 congressional traders that just had to release their information to the public, okay? This is $380 million was made by only 10 congressional traders in Congress. We have a list of who it is and the money, and you cannot tell me that these people who didn't sell a business, who weren't great stock traders before they got into Congress, in the year 2025 alone, 10 of them made $380 million, which was just disclosed by the Federal Trading Commission. This is where we're exposing them, guys. This stuff is real. People don't know how rich Congress is getting off of being in Congress, knowing the inside details. And guess what? They don't care about our money, care about serving we the people. They care about getting rich. Because again, it's never about we the people. We have Governor Gavin Newsom, who just signed an SB 1174 law to make requiring voter ID in the state of California illegal. Hear me. It's signed into law. If you, in any place, county, local, whatever, try to require voter ID in the state of California, it is illegal and punishable by law. The voter fraud is rampant in California, and it is so bad, everybody. We have new videos today to show you from Nick Shirley. The Democrats must cheat to win. In this video evidence, Nick Shirley exposes that businesses are being used for residences to house thousands and thousands of people on voter rolls. You can't find the people. The people don't exist. There's people that are over 130 years old, registered to businesses, getting Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security benefits, but you can't find the people. But yet they're there getting the benefits, and we have the video evidence to expose and show you today, everybody. This is why we're super serious when it comes to Medicare updates and 2026 changes when it comes to your money, because whether Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid, you deserve to get yours. On the other side of that, guys, even in a state like North Carolina, the Democrats just celebrated that 73,000 North Carolina voters without proper ID can stay on the voter rolls for the upcoming midterms. We are fighting this tooth and nail, everybody. We are fighting this like never before, and we're going to expose them. People need to see it. Call your representative if you live in one of these states. 73,000 people get to stay on the voter rolls without being properly verified. Can you make this stuff up? This is what's happening today in this breaking news. And it gets even worse because it's always about the money. These companies have been caught in the United States of America, caught breaking child labor laws, okay? Many have been caught hiring illegal migrant child labor. Wendy's, Hyundai, Walmart, PepsiCo, Amazon, Kroger, HelloFresh, Dairy Queen, Dave & Buster's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Michigan agriculture fields, all caught breaking child labor laws. Guys, this is nuts what's being exposed. Like, so much craziness and corruption is happening. We're here with the breaking news. Elon Musk has come out in support of changes happening with the voter ID laws and saying that illegals continuing to get taxpayer benefits takes away from the taxpayer who paid into the system. Guys, everybody's exposing it. People are stepping down over here. We're exposing more fraud over here, and we have all the video evidence and all the receipts to show you today. And I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching our videos. If you're not a part of the family yet, hit that subscribe button so that we can take care of you every day with the breaking news. This is so much stuff that's going on that everybody needs to see because we bring the receipts, everybody. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of supporting our channel by hitting that thumbs up like button. I know I asked this, guys, but this helps get us views. It helps grow our channel. It helps get the truth out there. And that's what matters the most, is the truth. I want to say thank you to everybody that gives on the channel. When you give on this channel, you donate with us on the 22nd of every single month. I take the money, we donate to a children's home, to a local charity to help these innocent kids that don't got anybody. They're going to get us. They're going to get our support. Show Alan Demeen some love in the chat. Larry Foley, thank you so much, Larry. We appreciate you. Show Larry some love in the chat. Google user, our boy JB Jim Barbato, thank you so much, brother. Tony Rostron, welcome to the family. Anna Diaz, Marilyn Kaplan, the Memphis Conservative, Richard, Chris Prez. Guys, show them people some love in the chat with their gifted memberships and their super chats. We're going to give y'all some more love in a moment. But I want to get into this video, guys. But don't forget our partner chapter. They will help you out on your Medicare. There is over 24,000 plans out there. Don't miss out. Because again, you can actually change your coverage right now. Call them up. It is a free service to you. The number is 667-895-3015 and get your blessing. Too many people have saved thousands upon thousands of dollars. And the better part is some people have gotten over $1,000 plus in additional benefits, stipends for gas, electricity, things like that. Call them up. It's free. What do you got to lose? Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number's at the bottom of the screen as well as in the description because we got some bombshell news to drop for you today. Big, big news. You're going to love it. This is the receipts, everybody. Check this out.
And now we're going to go head out into the streets of California and see what fraud we can find. Where's the first place we're going?
We're going to the local retirement community, and the reason this one is just kind of particularly odd, you got 45 people registered, and 41 of them actually turned out to vote in the last election. So that's just, again, not typical for 55 to 70% turnout. So it's a mental crisis senior rehabilitation center. So we're just going to go there and see, is there 45 people there? Is there beds? And check it out.
Can we speak to the supervisor?
Hello? How are you?
Yeah, it looks like there was maybe 41 of 45 people that are registered here. Does that seem low or high to you? Like as far as how many patients or residents you have?
That's probably not accurate anymore.
So that lady right there said that that's probably not accurate.
Right.
So this could be a huge location where hundreds of votes could be casted from this one location. She said that numbers sound like they're inaccurate, 41 out of 45.
Correct. So is there a lot more people that could be registered to vote and could be having their voices expressed?
Well, let's move on to the next location.
You got it.
Now we're here in the University of San Diego because they got lots of voters here. But what's the deal with this location?
It's some sort of institute for peace and justice, so it doesn't seem like you'd have a lot of voters like registered at some sort of an administrative office, but it very well could be, there's students that are all over the place here, so maybe it's some sort of a central mailing house or something like that.
You have a conference room, you have Garden of the Sky, the Kroc School, classrooms, conference rooms, anything but dorms. And this is the location where 58 people are registered to vote here inside of the state of California.
Is this like a central mailing location, like this building for students and stuff?
No, this one is not. So we do have a mail center.
Because right here on the John B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice, it says we had 58 registered to vote and 50 people voted from this location.
So it's 5998 Alcala Park. You're saying
The
is that
entire university.
the entire university. So where do the ballots go?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I have never seen.
So far, we're 0 for 2 as far as getting any clarity about where these votes are being cast from here.
Yeah, or any sort of real clarity.
And at these locations, when there's only around 40 to 50 people registered to vote in locations where there's hundreds and thousands of people, it leaves lots of room for speculations, especially when nobody actually knows what the real count is and where the votes are being casted from. And
I'm telling you, everybody, we're dropping some bombshell news today. Governor Gavin Newsom signed SB 1174 to make requiring voter ID illegal. Voter fraud in California is a sanctioned state policy. They must cheat to win. There's no other way. Who in the world would ever believe that it is okay for you to not require any voter ID whatsoever to vote for the most important election in our country, and it's a law? That's when you know they're cheating, guys. This needs to be shared. People need to see the evidence. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, because again, this has got to get out there. People have to know, because again, this is where what really makes me upset is you got people on Medicare, people on Social Security, people on Medicaid that are suffering, can't pay their bills, barely getting by. You got 10 congressional traitors, $380 million combined in earnings in 2025 alone from these 10 individuals. Tell me, how in the world do they always beat out the S&P? They always just happen to know and happen to trade whenever it's the perfect timing for these 10 individuals. This one trade made this person $30 million out of one trade. But look at this. Jill Cisneros, California. Look, Cleo Fields, Democrat. Nancy Pelosi, you know she's got to be in there. Dave McCormick, Daryl Issa, Jefferson Shreve, Josh Gothamer, Ro Khanna, Michael McCall, Richard Blumenthal. This has just been disclosed. We're showing you guys, this is why the trading and banning stocks trading in Congress has to happen. Because if these people can make almost $400 million in a year, this is the incentive that they use to get into Congress. They don't care about serving we the people. They don't care about doing what's best for Americans. They care about getting in there to make their own dang money. And we're going to show you this in a moment. But I'm telling you, that's why the voter ID is so important for us to get into place. Because if not, what you're seeing on the screen, that will continue to always happen, of people getting into Congress, not to serve we the people, but to serve their own pockets. Guys, give it up to Anna Diaz for the 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. If you got a free membership from Anna, show her some love in the chat, as well as Marilyn Kaplan for the 5 gifted memberships. Our boy Richard with the 5, and give it up for CP with the 20 gifted memberships. Show them some love in the chat if you got a free membership. And thank you so much, Anna, for your support. She said, hey, Joel, had not been able to catch the live stream for a bit. Wanted to make sure I do my part in the mission of helping those less fortunate. Amen. We've got to stick together. Got to expose these fraudulent individuals, guys. I'm telling you, what you're about to hear next is even crazier of how much fraud is out there of them, what they do to steal our elections.
Just a reminder, all this information from Urson is the most up-to-date information from the Secretary of State of California as far as the voter rolls go. The fraud continues. Now we're outside of a extra space, a storage unit location here. 5 people are registered to vote.
Correct.
Did they cast their votes?
3 of them did in the 24 election. Then we had 1 that cast a ballot in the 2020 election and 1 that's never voted. The point is that unless this is a primary residence, right, or where you can sleep, right, which no one's supposed to by law allowed to sleep in their public storage unit, then this is not a legal registration. And these are the things that the county continues to let slip through the cracks.
Boom.
Let's see if they're here. We have the names of all 5 people. Let's see if they're here. How's it going, sir? Good. We're just looking for a few people here. We have Lily Morey, Philip Thomas, Sidney Thomas, Robert Thomas. We're just looking for these individuals as they're registered to vote here.
Do you have people that live here at Extra Space?
Are you Robert Thomas?
Oh, okay. Okay, so who gave you this list real quick?
Oh, from the Secretary of State.
Yeah, it's publicly available information.
What about Robert, Sidney, Philip, and Lily Thomas? What about them? Do they also get their ballots here? Robert Thomas, Sidney Thomas, John Thomas, and Philip Thomas. Do you know where any of those individuals are? Any of the Thomases?
No, they're not here right now.
There's no one living in storage facilities, right? That's
No,
the
right?
question, right? Just wondering if people are actually living in storage facilities.
So 5 people are registered to vote here. They confirm that nobody lives here. A little fishy. California's got some weird things going on. So 5 people, and they didn't know where any of the Thomases were, but this is their primary location.
This is how they steal elections. Do y'all realize how many businesses are out there? How many people that register to vote, just random places, random just businesses. You go in and check, and guess what? There's never any evidence that any real people exist. This right here, everybody, that we're showing you is the truth that's happening behind the scenes. Nobody sees this. Nobody has any idea. I want to show you this because, again, context matters of what the fight is that we're dealing with. Democrats celebrate as 73,000 North Carolina voters without proper ID stay on the voter rolls. Is this not, to me, common sense that, okay, if it is required by law, you're supposed to verify in some of these states and you still don't, this is where the whole common sense part that Trump, that MAGA is trying to show everybody, is the evidence not there enough to show you that we are having our election stolen from us, right from under us. And it's all here in black and white. And while all this is happening, I'm telling you, everybody, I want to show you this really quick clip that, again, happened from the 2020 election. Nobody thinks about that, but this is, again, how they stole it right from under us. This is the hearing about the Pennsylvania just crazy anomalies of all these votes, mail-in ballots coming in for Biden.
So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting. There are about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden?
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
Right there, everybody. The Pennsylvania vote spike anomalies, 570,000 for Biden, 3,200 for Trump. Is this not common sense? Is this not the truth that you're seeing, that you're hearing them? And they went before the judges, and guess what all the judges said? No, you have no case. There's nothing to stand for. Guys, when you see this right here, remember whenever Elon Musk, Doge was kicking butt, they were finding all this fraud. This guy right here who was caught, this is how they protect themselves. This guy who works for the Minnesota Department of Human Services, he got caught on video keying at least 6 Teslas back in April 2025, causing around $20,000 in damages. And just a reminder, they protect their own. The county attorney declined to press charges. This is literally a video of this guy keying a car. Video evidence, and yet the judges, the attorneys all declined to charge. Why? Because they protect their own. That's why the fight is so dang real, everybody. When you support this channel, when you share on X, on Facebook, when you like our videos, we are showing people you cannot deny this. Go look it up for yourself. This is what's really happening, and this is why things keep getting worse, and the average American keeps getting screwed over. Thank you so much, Sinsin, for your super chat. Let's go. Said federal elections equal federal government should be in charge of all elections, not the states. Amen. It's common sense. And Tammy Ash, let's go, said to help with your charity. Remember, when you give on this channel, you give to a greater cause. On the 22nd of every single month, we donate live on stream to a local charity that helps the children's in orphanages, helps the children's homes, the most innocent. Out of all these kids, it helps them out the most. That's where my heart is at, and that's what you donate to. Show Tammy Ash, and don't forget to show Anna Diaz, our boy Chris Prez, PDX67, Marilyn Kaplan, some love in the chat, Jim Barbato, for their gifts to this charities. So I want to jump right into this, guys, because again, it's common sense across the board that it is undeniable over the calls, over all the things about elections. And when you see this right here, this is the smackdown that people need to see, that it's undeniable logic. Listen to this. And if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, check this out. Just stay far back enough because this guy's eyebrows are about to attack you.
Stand on, and I really have real questions for anybody who is trying to obfuscate or diminish what's actually going on here. And again, Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything, there's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
It's not if that's true, it is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is...
You think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't. That's exactly the point.
Oh, my goodness.
Scott,
this is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott,
10 years Trump has
that's
been in public
that's
life.
Embarrassing.
Come on.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously. Larry Summers was involved.
No,
Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
If someone was involved, we would know about it. They would be prosecuted. It would be done and dusted. The last 10 years, no one has been prosecuted for this. Is that a sign that nothing has happened?
No, absolutely not.
So then why are you saying that is the case for Trump?
question directly to him is, if you think after 10 years, 3 presidential campaigns, and Democrats unleashing holy hell on him, you wouldn't know about it?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Biden's DOJ did every...
So again, it's always about deterring from the most important part that we're dealing with right now, everybody. They're trying, well, this voter ID is, to me, as equally as important as the Epstein. And the reason being is because if we don't win our elections, if we don't keep this from happening right here, where they are literally signing laws requiring voter ID illegal, then the elitist, these people will continue to win. Sorry, I want to show you this right here. Because again, we're catching them left and right. Hyatt Executive Chair Tom Pritzker steps down over Jeffrey Epstein files. That doesn't mean he's arrested, just he stepped down. But this type of stuff will always continue to happen. You want to know how badly they think about people? You want to know how badly these elitists think about people, the average American, or just people, random Americans? Epstein emails show him asking Bill Gates a disturbing question about getting rid of poor people as a whole. Like, this is evil at the highest level. This is stuff you cannot make up. What kind of dang conversation would they be having for Epstein to be able to feel comfortable about asking Bill Gates something like that? And that's why, again, everybody, we bring you what's happening right behind the scenes right now, the breaking news, because we have to get this stuff out there.
In 2025. They don't go after Catholics at Latin Mass anymore. They go after terrorists with drones trying to penetrate our skies. They don't go after parents at school board meetings. They go after gangbangers and sex traffickers. And that market decline that has occurred in the last year in violent crime is a direct result of the work that certainly started with the president that you and Cash achieved. I've covered this bureau for a long time, seen a lot of people promise stuff get done. You guys got stuff done, and you got it done faster, quicker, and more efficiently than any time I've seen in my 35 years covering that place. So bravo to you, and welcome back to the airwaves.
Listen, that's a very nice compliment. I really appreciated your reporting on everything that's going on. It's been incredible. And I think you just said it, it's great to take, personal victory laps, but that's not what happened here. The leadership of this president allowed us, you know him very well, John. He allowed us the leeway to do our jobs. Nothing we did there is rocket science. Nothing. I mean, what we did, we went and arrested violent criminals. We got out the bad actors who weaponized a place. And shockingly, you got people back focused on the mission. And then the mission, mission got done. I mean, it's not really that hard. So one of the cases I know you've been following intensely is this massive search warrant operation in Fulton County, Georgia, on the election process down there. I saw a couple of your articles at justthenews.com, and you had written about they noticed irregularities. Now, we never get out ahead of the story. We're not the left-wing media. You were very clear, and I agree. We don't know if it's going to change a vote count or not. This is about, right now, irregularities in the process, because the process as much as the result matters, because if you don't trust the process, you're not going to trust the result, even if it is accurate.
That's exactly right. Yeah, listen, that's what this is about. This is about restoring voter trust in a place that has had a 2-decade record of not being able to do the most basic vote counting, not being able to do it right, not being able to follow the normal procedures that are required by law. And what a lot of people forgot, but not the FBI, is that when you're an election official, if you knowingly and willfully don't follow the law, either because you're incompetent or you have some crooked scheme going on, you're going to be prosecuted for not administering the elections according to state law. And that's what.
And again, everybody, I love to bring the receipts. This is what matters. It's one thing to know the news. It's another thing to see the reasoning behind it, to see what's actually happening. This was just reported out. This individual going through and looking, there are 385 people registered to vote who are between 126 and 226 year old in Fulton County, and another 1,980 duplicates. Here is the actual, look at this. Look at the birth year. Oh, you can't see it. Dang it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Look at the birth year. 1800. This is people, this is why it matters, because again, we all know that Social Security numbers of deceased people get sold to people that are illegals. We know that these voter rolls are not clean. We know that if you don't check voter ID and all you use is a signature, you can vote in somebody else's name in multiple different polling stations, and they're not checking. They're just worried about getting the votes. So when you see how many people, look at that, 1800, 1800, 1800, 1885, 1900, 1900, 1900. How do people not realize that this is a very important issue? And that's why what John Solomon is about to go into is we are catching them left and right. And there's no denying that a lot of our elections, I would say, have always been screwed up. Until we get voter ID, we're never going to have true, free, and fair elections. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We're showing you the receipts right here on the screen.
This affidavit points out that there are the statutes, section 152 of the federal code, that says if you take on the job of being an election administrator, you better darn follow the law. And if you don't follow law, and it turns out it was willful and intentional, you're going to get cuff slapped on you and you're going to be charged with a felony. And what we learn in this affidavit, this is hysterical. If you read the New York Times the last couple of weeks, you'd swear that the FBI just went back in and looked at some old stuff and came up with nothing, but they decided to search anywhere. That is not what this agent did, or this team of agents led by the agent who writes the affidavit. He uses a very important word. The FBI has substantiated these regularities, and he puts them down on paper. 5 major irregularities that violate Georgia law or violate the federal requirements for election administration. And in most of them, the reason he's been able to substantiate it, this agent, is he got Fulton County to admit they did all those things. That is great gumshoe work. It's not some conspiracy theorist on some blog saying this. An FBI agent went in and got Fulton County to admit, yeah, we did that. We double counted ballots. We lost ballots. We didn't follow the proper procedures. That is a great tribute, first, to the agent who did the work. Secondly, it's how you get things fixed. The Fulton County has to be punished for bad behavior so that the next election, they do it right.
John,
Yes.
one of the things you pointed out, which I want to make sure the audience, tattoos on the brain there, is this was a career agent. It wasn't some politically appointed Jack Smith special prosecutor. Nope. It was a career agent whose credibility is on the line, who raised his right hand in front of a judge in a court of law and said, I solemnly attest that these facts I've put forth in this affidavit are accurate. He could be in a world of hurt, including his credibility being eviscerated and losing his job, but potentially jail time for knowingly lying, as we've seen in the past. And this passed the probable cause muster for a search warrant. This was not some random politically selected out of the ether case.
No, that's exactly right. And there's an amazing moment in the affidavit. He refers to witness 4. Witness 4 is the former elections director for Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State. And the FBI is the agents relaying to this guy who oversaw the election, knew that Fulton County had problems. He's like, hey, we didn't know some of this stuff. That's troubling to me. the people who supervise Fulton County at the state level were surprised by what this FBI agent was able to substantiate, what he was able to get Fulton County to admit. And I think that that is such an important part of a process. There probably will be some punishment. Some people probably played with the vote count to make things match in the recount because they were such a mess they couldn't get the vote tallies to match, or they probably faked it in some way. Whatever the case is, the real opportunity here for the American public, for the people of Fulton County and Atlanta City, is this is a moment of reckoning that will make their elections better if the process is allowed to play out. That agent is going to help the people of Atlanta trust their vote counts greater in the future because of the work he did, and he should be.
You cannot deny right here what you're hearing, that again, it's all out there. The facts are out there. Pulling them all together. Democrats want cheating to be enabled. They want to be able to do and have no accountability when it comes to their voting, when it comes to their spending, any verification. Who fought the dang hardest when it came to the audits over the federal government spending? The Democrats. And I hate it because it's like lumping them all into one. And I don't think that all Democrats are the worst when it comes to spending and voter fraud, but I feel like it's the majority. And this is stuff that people need to see. And if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support, because the more that we have people that are on the ground working this, trying to fight all this corruption, this is the stuff that you don't see on mainstream media, everybody. This is the stuff that as we bring the receipts, we want to show you that this stuff matters. What you're about to hear next, again, is people who are fighting, especially in these swing states, to make sure that we can win the midterms and these dang things don't get stolen right from beneath us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check this out.
Here's a question. I think they keep rubbing our nose in the fact, I think it was 63 times, and Cleveland would know this first, 63 times we went to court, and they say they lost every time. It never even went to court. We never got an evidentiary hearing because I don't believe they said any time we ever went, we had standing. Do Norm Eisen and Abby Lowell and who they represent, did they actually have standing in Georgia? I mean, what do they have to say about this, sir?
No, thank you for asking that question, Steve. Standing is something I know a little bit about because we won standing in the Georgia Supreme Court after they claimed that we didn't have it. So our case is still active. In fact, or wasn't until just recently. But the other issue is that none of these plaintiffs have standing, and they've got agencies on. We'll go through real quickly on that, but they're making First Amendment and Fourth Amendment claims. The Fourth Amendment claim is unreasonable search and seizure. An agency doesn't have a constitutional right to or standing to do that. Only a citizen has First Amendment, Fourth Amendment rights. So the agencies that are involved are the county commission, the county itself, the Board of Elections, and then Chairman Pitts. None of the agency has standing, nor does Chairman Pitts, because Chairman Pitts doesn't own the ballots. They didn't take the ballots from Chairman Pitts. They took them from the clerk of the court, and the clerk of the court has refused to go on this because clerks of court are neutral parties. They don't participate in this kind of a lawsuit over their own records. So they're going to have a hard issue to get over. Standing is the first thing that the Department of Justice should address, and it's the first thing that the judge should address.
Okay, we got to bounce, but I just got a question. Knowing that they don't have the players already that would have standing as part of that, isn't that a big sign that this thing's not on the up and up down in Georgia, what they're trying to do?
Absolutely. And I think we all know that. There is one little thing I call a 41G that Cleta could probably talk about, one other claim. But it's all smoke and mirrors. Everything divert to Tulsi, divert to debunk claims, divert to Kurt Olson. It's all diversions. We have the facts. We've had them for 5 years. And as you said many times, because of all the volunteer patriots that have done so much work down here, and it's just a matter of getting them on the record at the appropriate time.
Real quickly, we got to bounce, but with Harry Horry, he's going to be back on tomorrow about Georgia, and you guys will have a collection of Georgia folks on here. Do you believe it shows enough to federalize the case of Tina Peters? I know you're very close to Tina and the team over there. Do you think this is enough to actually move this to a federal court with Tina Peters?
Well, yes. I mean, Harry's done some great work, as you know, and we're very close to Tina. We talk about Tina every week on our call. We have 100 people on our Saturday morning calls. We did a little 2-minute video tribute to her for her 500 days. You've got that, and we hope you can work it in maybe before the end of the show. Yes, and there's a lot of coordination between what happened there in Colorado and what happened in Georgia. We haven't even got into the electronic vote manipulation yet that occurred in Georgia in 2020 and how that ties into Colorado. That's a subject for another show.
I'm telling you, everybody, they want chaos. This came out and it happened in Florida. An illegal arrested for randomly trying to drown a woman in Florida. She was walking on the beach when he came up behind her, dragged her, tried to drown her. They've arrested him, but it's just mind-blowing how this type of stuff happens and you never hear a dang Democrat say anything about it. Right now, the biggest things that they're trying to deter everybody, and I'm telling you, I just feel like something is deeper with the corruption than from what we are seeing right from the leading report, new polling. And this is all to create a monstrosity before the midterms, to try and detract people from the truth. Trump has gotten into office and he's kicking butt with the economy. People's tax refunds are 11% higher than previous years. We are winning with tariffs. We're finally not a laughing stock in the world anymore. We have closed the border. We are 100% carrying out mass deportations. But ICE has become an extremely partisan issue, with about 80% of Republicans approving of ICE, while 5% of Democrats approve, according to Hart Research. But it all goes back to our confidence, and I want you to hear this because I don't know if you know this guy named Sean Ryan, big podcaster out there, finally gave his take on what's going on with Pam Bondi. And when you hear this, guys, I'm telling you, somebody put in the chat, smoke and mirrors. Kevin Cantel, thank you so much. It's smoke and mirrors. It's all distractions. We're trying to show you what the heck to what's really going on, where we should really be focused on, because this is the truth. Check this out.
I've been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day, talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a f, because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fly, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many lies appear in, what, a year? It's only been a year. Look at all the lies. You know, I wanted to talk to you about something else, too. Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche. Yeah, running around given Ro Khanna and Massey all this because they accidentally put two names that are apparently innocent, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got news for you. You have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing, and you give them because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice, because nobody over there will do their job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison. So you give, because two people are trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice.
I hope that you hear this, guys. People are at their breaking point. People are. And if you are, guys, I want to get support behind this, because people need to see a lot of what's happening behind the scenes. A lot of these videos, you're not going to see them on mainstream media. I try to bring a lot of stuff you don't see on mainstream media, because to me, that's the truth. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this right here, and what people that have really, really big followings are saying is like, where the heck is the arrest? You have all the Epstein files and you have video evidence and no arrest. We know, what I'm about to show you next, again, about even insider stock trading. There's no way all this stuff is true. No arrest. Like, what the heck?
And here's another thing I'm getting tired of, is seeing all these politicians, congressmen, senators, talking about all the shit they saw in the unredacted files. And then you know what they do? They go right to X and they post about it and tell us all how shocked we would be of what's in those files. Guess what, congressmen? Guess what, senators? There's the speech and debate clause that says you cannot be sued for anything you say on the House floor. So here's a tip. Get to work. Permission granted. Oh, and one last thing. One last thing.
I'm telling you.
I saw this pop up the other day. Obama goes on some random podcast that nobody's ever heard of and just happens to drop, oh, aliens are real. Yeah. Tell me that's not orchestrated. Right in the middle of the biggest pedophile ring exposed in the world, all of a sudden, we're gonna drop that aliens are real.
I'm telling you, everybody, this is the real. What we're showing you, that, like, again, this is where the focus should be. Focus on the Congress people. Who's protecting who? I am giving you a list right now of the top 10 congressional traders in 2025 alone made $380 million. That is over $750 million by 10 congressional leaders in Congress. How? This one person made $30 million off of one trade. And again, the reporting is getting next level because people are fed up with the lies. They're fed up with, oh, you say this, but this never happens. How many times do we get promised things on the campaign, but things never transpire? Literally, Pam Bondi said, it's on my desk. We're going to prosecute them. This. And it's been over a year and no arrest. How? I just want to know how. Because to me, common sense says out of 1,200 victims, out of all the video evidence, you probably got somebody. But when you have people in Congress making this type of money, I'm telling you, people are being protected. Listen to this.
The members of Congress who are making the most on their personal stock trades. Representative Gil Cisneros, who's from California, he has made 527 stock trades and almost $18 million. 9 is Representative Cleo Fields, a Democrat from Louisiana, made 185 total stock trades to make $20 million. This was during 1 year, by the way. 1 year period.
1 year.
Number 8 was Nancy Pelosi, Democrat from California, made 12 trades to make $27 million in 12 stock trades in 1 year. 7, Senator Dave McCormick, a Republican from Pennsylvania, 200 trades for about $29 million in a year. 6, Representative Daryl, I think it's Issa, there you go. Republican from California, one trade worth $30 million in 1 year.
Okay, everybody, so I just want you to get hearing from her, like, this is stuff that is out there. And if let me know your thoughts on this, because again, what we go into next, it's all about the dang money. So one of the things that we have a couple of senators, I say there's a couple of senators in the Senate, and there's a couple of House members that are truly fighting for, like, justice. They're patriots, and they're people that want to do good. And now I want to show you this, because the deeper that we get into this, the more that we can expose every single time the Democrats are trying to protect corruption and fraud. That's common sense, okay? There's a part of this where some people, I would say, 40% of the United States is Democrat, 40% is Republican, and then 10 to 15% is independent, and then 5% is all the other small ones like libertarians and things like that. You're not going to win over all the Democrats, but if you could win a small percentage of them, that wins you an election. Because every single election in every single swing state is won by 100,000 votes or less. That's just the matter of the fact. It's the craziest thing in the world, but every single time, every swing state is won by 100,000 votes or less. So if you can sway those people, those are the ones that determine the election. Check this out, because this is, again, one of the true patriots, I think, that's helping to fight the corruption.
And to stop it.
The so-called SAVE Act is not about free and fair elections.
And we're going to fight him on the SAVE Act for the voter ID. It's just not right.
It's the equivalent of a show me your papers law to be able to exercise your fundamental constitutional right to vote.
Now, Trump just wants voters to show their ID to prove their citizenship, something that more than 80% of Americans want too. But Democrats have insisted that this basic proposition with widespread support is unconstitutional, it's racist, and now guess what? It's misogynistic.
Republicans talk nonstop about protecting women. And you'd think, if they really believe this, that this would be a non-starter for them, because it disenfranchises so many women.
Now you're going to say to those women, because they got married and changed their names, they have to go down to a clerk and prove they're citizens, sign affidavits.
What I hear is the same racist, misogynistic trash.
Well, it's time for a fact check. Under the Save America Act, states will set their own rules. A birth certificate and a marriage certificate are all you need. Showing proof of name change is not sexist, and it is not hard to do either. In fact, I did it recently. It just took a few clicks. My team on Saturday in America put together this demonstration that we showed you this weekend. And as you can see, if you lose your marriage certificate, if you need a replacement, you fill out a simple form online, a few clicks, and the new certificate arrives at your home. Now, under the Save America Act, once you register and prove your citizenship, all you have to do is show ID in order to vote. And showing an ID is not controversial. People do it every day. If you go to a bar, go to the bank, or even an airport, you need to prove who you are. And nobody wants to change that. So why is it that elections are where Democrats draw this line? Voter ID is not obstructing democracy. It's actually streamlining it.
It's got three very simple points. It's got voter ID, photo ID, but voter ID with a photo, right? It's got the confirmation of U.S. citizenship. You have to be a citizen. And then you have no mail-in ballots. And there would be no mail-in ballots.
The vast majority of Americans want voter ID, and Democrats don't have a good reason to oppose it. That's why they're calling it racist.
About 83% of the American people, including majority Democrats, support voter ID laws.
The voter ID laws that, first, each state can have its own voter ID laws, and some do and some don't. But secondly, what they are proposing in this so-called SAVE Act is like Jim Crow 2.0.
But not every Democrat feels that way. Liberals like Fetterman see the winds have shifted, so he's adjusting his sails to match his base.
I would never refer to the SAVE Act as like Jim Crow 2.0 or some kinds of mass kinds of conspiracy, but that's part of the debate that we were having here in the Senate right now, and I don't call people names or imply that it's some kinds of things, something gross about the terrible history of like Jim Crow.
The man behind the Save America Act, Utah Senator Mike Lee, joins me now. Senator Lee, you are on this. Every day you have been on this, and I've watched you aggregate 50 co-sponsors for the Save America Act. So now the question is, when does this get...
Right there, everybody. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Senator Mike Lee has been able to get all 50 co-sponsors on the bill. The only that now you got to have majority in a simple majority, so you get J.D. Vance. He comes in to be the tiebreaker. Who are we waiting on? John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader. Now remember, before this can come out, it has to go through the Rules Committee. Who's in charge of the Rules Committee? Mitch McConnell. So again, all the cards are there. Everything is there. And if you appreciate this, guys, we are trying to make this go big. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you to everybody that shares our videos on X and Facebook. This is big because this helps us win. This helps us get to the next level of actually getting back our country to we the people.
Vote.
We need a vote as soon as possible, Kaylee, because the American people demand elections that are secure. Right now, they're not. Look at what's happened. Over the last 4 out of the last 5 years, we had an estimated 10 to 15 million people come into this country illegally. Meanwhile, we've got a law called the NVRA that makes it far too easy, especially as it's been interpreted in recent years by the courts, far too easy for people to just go in, apply for a driver's license. You can do that as a non-citizen in almost every state. Check a box, sign your name, and with no additional identification required, and not even allowed under the court's interpretation of the NVRA. States aren't even allowed to ask to verify citizenship. And so this leaves this sort of very dangerous thing in place where a whole lot of people could go in and with relative ease register to vote unlawfully, and the states would be powerless to do anything about it. So this closes a loophole in an existing federal law. Now, as for all of these horrible things they're saying about it, this is paranoid fantasy. Kaylee, our mantra in this, we want to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. The Democrats like, and we're willing to accept only the first half of that equation, but we need both in place. We need it to be easy to vote, hard to cheat. The Save America Act accomplishes both.
It does. And you gave a presentation last week to your colleagues because in order to pass this, you have to get past the filibuster. And your colleague, Rick Scott, has said to me, I want the standing filibuster. This would force Democrats to talk as to why they were on the 20% side of an 80-20 issue, endlessly talk about this. I think the idea is fantastic. You presented it to your colleagues. What did they say?
Look, everyone in the Senate Republican Conference, basically everybody was there. They listened. Not one of them came up with a rules-based argument against doing this. The only real strong argument against it is that it would take time and that it's fraught with a certain degree of uncertainty. Why? Well, it's because this sort of thing hasn't been accomplished in a while. People haven't tried it. Sometimes muscle starts to atrophy when that muscle isn't used. But the rules are still in place. We don't have to change one rule. We don't have to nuke the filibuster as a whole. We just have to enforce our existing laws. Look, historically, the filibuster was understood as speaking. And over the last few decades, we've made it way too easy to where people can filibuster in their sleep or while on vacation, while at recess, at a bar, whatever. They don't have to show up and speak. All we're asking is that if you want to filibuster this bill, you should have to show up, stand up, seek recognition, and speak.
Majority Leader John Thune said to Politico, this is how they describe it, asked later if he knew how a talking filibuster could work without a prolonged floor battle, something that the South Dakota Republican warned could derail other GOP priorities. Thune started laughing. No, I don't, Thune said. It takes you back over 100 years, so unlimited debate and unlimited amendments. Nobody knows. Well, you seem to know, and I wonder what you would say to Thune, because James Carville has told me, I'm going to be nuking the filibuster. The Democrats are going to get rid of it entirely. So now seems like the only time for Republicans to step up and do something.
This is so crazy. Again, they know, like, when you think about how far has the Democrats gone? They've literally have lost every standing that they've ever had. The amount of fraud, the amount of abuse. We're not talking about $1 million. We're not even talking about $1 billion. We're talking about into the $600 to $1 trillion of fraud a year that Scott Bessent and everybody has found. Why do you think the threats, the paid protests are so rampant? Why do you think, guys, it is so apparent that they are doing everything in their power to stop Americans from truly being served by we the people? Why do you think they sign laws that make requiring voter ID legal? Because there's no other option for them. There's no other way for them to win. There's no other path for them to actually get back control unless they cheat. They took illegals and they propped them up and they gave them every benefit in the world and they brought them here to make them into voters. And I want to show you this real quick, guys, because it bothers me that a lot of people have been taking advantage. It bothers me about a lot of people that, especially when it comes to your healthcare costs, people pay more than they should. I like to show you the receipts. We partnered with this company, Chapter, who will go in for free and help you find the right Medicare coverage. Out of all the plans out there, there's 24,000 plans, and it's free to get you and help you save so much money. People have saved thousands upon thousands of dollars. And again, the number is 667-895-3015. You want to see the receipts? Go look for it yourself. Right here on the screen. Look at this. You can go Google this yourself. Just type in 24,000 Medicare plans nationwide. I'm even going to refresh it right in front of you so you can see this right here. For 2026, there are over 24,000 different Medicare options available nationwide. How in the world do you choose them and pick the best one with so many options? They make it confusing because that's the way they can get more of your money and be able to take more of your hard-earned money for themselves. When you have a company like Chapter who can go through and help you figure out which one is the best one, that's why they pretty much, I'm talking about the highest majority of always saving people thousands upon thousands of dollars in their Medicare coverage. And it's free. This is the receipts. We bring you the truth, everybody. Right here on the screen, you can go Google it yourself. That's why we recommend you call Chapter 667-895-3015. Get your blessing. Have them help you out on your Medicare because, again, this is the stuff that not a lot of people see, not a lot of people know, but it's the truth, and we show you the receipts. And going back to this right here, every time a person that votes that is not a citizen, cancels out a citizen's vote. Every time that the Democrats win, they're going to import more voters. They're about to give mass amnesty to 20 million plus people that came in over the past 4 years. And I've already shown you that the statistics say there's 52 million non-citizens here in the United States. Don't think for a second that they're not about to go all in because they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, first of all, the fact that we haven't done something in a while, the fact that it would require a fair amount of work and that we don't know exactly what curveballs the Democrats might try to throw at us when we do this isn't a good reason not to do it. In fact, Kayleigh, when you look at how important this is, The fact that we're looking at somewhere between 80 and 85% of all Americans support this. The fact that this may well be necessary in order for us to preserve the majority that the Republican Party holds in the Senate and in the House. When you look at the fact that the American people want this done, this is the most important thing that we could do. And so, look, it may take a while. I expect that it probably would take a few weeks. It would be far worth the investment, and I believe we could get it passed. What we do know is that if we don't try, it won't happen, and it won't pass. We've got to try this, Kaylee. The American people demand it.
Yeah, and I see a great benefit to having...
I'm telling you, I just feel like John Thune he's paid off. He keeps giving every excuse under the sun to not do the dang filibuster. Nuke it for just voter ID, voter ID. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Jensen, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Jensen some love in the chat, everybody. As well as our boy Jim Barbato, OG of the fam. Show Jim some love in the chat. Don't forget to show Tammy Ash, our girl Anna, PDX67, Chris Prez, Marilyn Kaplan. Thank y'all so much for helping us grow our family with those gifted memberships and blessings. Y'all are the best. What a blessing. This is what they're continuing to be afraid of. CBS literally reports, guys, look at it. It's CBS. That the average tax refund is nearly 11% higher so far this year, IRS data shows. What is that telling you? That's helping out with the affordability. It's helping out, which makes sure that 100% we can give the hard-earned money back to we the people. And again, it's so crazy because you would think that as more people see this and more people support it and everybody is starting to say, you know what, this kind of makes sense, that we would all be behind it. But when it comes to all the elected leaders, I'm telling you, common sense to me is what is going to win out. And the more people that see this, the more people will side on the side of MAGA. Check this out.
Every metric, every 24 months, we go through this debate over and over again. When every country in the Nordic countries in Europe, France, Switzerland, Canada, Australia, solved this problem decades ago. A, you got to be a citizen to vote. You got to prove it. We all agree at the table on that one. Number two, there's such advancement in technology to make sure there's no cheating. We should implement it here and get all this crapola over with. It's getting almost boring every 24 months. Oh, the election's rigged. Oh, this guy's doing this guy's doing that. No other country has this narrative.
Kevin,
Nobody.
I agree with you. It is getting
It's
incredibly
ridiculous.
boring. We talk about this all the time. It's incredibly boring, but it's also not an actual problem. Like when you look at the statistics, illegals voting is not an actual problem in this country. You do need to show ID.
How is it not a problem when it's not even tracked? Remember, all the biggest blue states don't track voter ID. They don't track anything beyond a signature. So again, facts matter, lady.
You agree. If you're not a
It
citizen,
is
you
0.
can't vote.
I would agree with that, but let me help out. That's not what the problem is.
Gotcha.
The problem is that we have 0.001% of people that are illegally voting. The Heritage Foundation said that 3 related fraud cases since 2017. The Brennan Center for Justice says there's 100 confirmed instances since the 1980s. This is not a real problem. The problem the Trump administration is trying to solve is that they are not doing well. They are not going to do well in the midterm elections, and they are coming up to it to find a result.
Yes or no?
But that's not the question.
It's already
at hand.
illegal.
No
It's
one is
already
doing
illegal.
that. That's already illegal.
Is it?
It's already illegal to vote if you're not a citizen.
Why not just say if you cheat and steal and you're illegally voting, you go to jail? Oh my goodness, what a concept.
That's already the law. Go ahead,
Right, they
Tesla.
know that. I'm happy.
You see this? And again, it's all smoke and mirrors, everybody. Because no matter what, we catch them all the time. There is literally known Democrats celebrate as 73,000 North Carolina voters without proper ID stay on the rolls. So when they talk about it doesn't exist, it's not real, this to me, guys, it's so blatant. It's such stealing that what else could you say? We have been wanting voter ID, proper voting for years, decades, and yet nothing ever happens because they say it doesn't exist. It 100% does. The most undeniable, when they found this, remember this video right here that I'm showing you, when this video was shown, a judge literally, an attorney literally said, you have no standing to bring this to the courts to fight it. And this is, again, how they've been fighting Trump with the judiciary ever since he got into office. And now you're seeing it from back in 2020 of how much the judiciary fought them back then.
So that big spike that occurs there is a prime indicator of fraudulent voting. There are about 570 some odd thousand that all those spikes represent over time.
For Biden?
Correct.
And how much for Trump?
I think it was a little over 3,200.
Again, undeniable, everybody. Undeniable. And yet no judge would allow this. Why? Because, again, they're all in on it. And you're right, sweet kitten, things have got to go to the Supreme Court, because when they are happy about signing laws that prevent voter ID from even being looked at, when they're happy about trying to control the average American with taxes galore, guys, I'm not joking. The amount of taxes is unreal that Americans pay on everything. It's all about control, and we deserve to have our country back. And I'm not going to stop saying this till we actually get our country back. And I don't trust Thune. I halfway trust Johnson. I'm just saying, there's too much evidence that shows that people in Congress, they're all paid for, 100%. And I've even thought about it that in the next, say, 10, 15 years, I said, I think I would love to run for Congress and vlog everything, video everything, every conversation. Because why? Why not? Why can't we have transparency? Why did things have to happen behind closed doors? I think if we could truly see what happens, see how much work gets done, because I would be, if I only got one term in, that would be enough to expose a lot of things and to be able to say, look, I'm sitting back and I ain't got nothing to do, but I'm getting paid all this money. Congressional members are only in Congress in D.C. 130 days out of the year. So it's again, this is stuff that I feel like we're going to see in the next 10 to 15 years. Either I'm going to do it, somebody's going to do it, but I promise you, we're going to expose it all one way or another. And if you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. If you're watching and you're not subscribed yet to our family, hit that subscribe button. Let us take care of you every day with the breaking news. So much is going on, and we just want to serve you and show you the receipts, have some real conversations, and get the truth out there. And I want to give some special love to those that have given today. And don't forget our partner chapter. Get that blessing, everybody. The number is 667-895-3015. They can take care of you on your Medicare and help you save money big time and even get additional benefits. Possibly, guys, this is what I love. I love to see people blessed, especially keep more of your hard-earned money. I hate seeing how much wasted money is in Congress. And remember, Congress, we spent so much money, hundreds of billions on Obamacare. Keep more of your hard-earned money. Call Chapter up. They're going to help you out, I promise. The number is 667-895-3015. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number's in the description as well as at the bottom of the screen. Give it up to those that have given today, because when you give on this channel, baby, we are bringing some good change into this world. Positive change. Give God the glory. And we will help these kids out in these children's homes, these orphanages. We do it live on stream on the 22nd of every single month. You see the receipt. Google user, thank you so much for your support. Show Google user some love in the chat. Jim Barbado, let's go. Show Jim some love in the chat. Tony Rostron, welcome to the family. Our girl Anna with the 5 gifted memberships as well as the super chat. Show Anna some love in the chat if you got a free membership from her. Gator Girl, been a member for 8 months. Let's go. Show the Memphis Conservatives some love in the chat. Marilyn Kaplan for her 5 gifted memberships. Richard, our boy PDX67 for his 5 gifted memberships. Show them some love in the chat, everybody. Such blessings. Chris Prez with the 20 gifted memberships. Show Chris some love in the chat, everybody. What a blessing, brother. We appreciate you so much. Show Anna Diaz some love for her super chat. Sin. Thank you so much. Tammy Ash, you are so awesome. Thank you so much for your help with the charities. Give some love to Tammy. And Jensen, thank you so much for your support. Jim Barbato, we love y'all all so much. Thank you for sharing our videos on X, on Facebook. We're here to serve you. We love you, appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.